artificial intelligence is really what electricity was in the 1800s. This technology is going to transform the world, our country, the city, and New York City should be leading in that. We are the perfect place to deploy a lot of these technologies. So if you recall the shooting that happened in Uptown at the NFL building that happened a couple of months ago. Well, that individual walked a couple of blocks with a gun around his shoulder. An AI camera would have picked that up immediately, would have effectively called the equivalents of the SWAT
I think if I'm
team.
correct, because I remember reporting on that story, he actually had parked right on the block of the building and walked. He walked across to get into the building, right? Mm-hmm.
So if that camera, which by the way was connected to the city cameras, would have automatically detected that weapon, would have called the SWAT team immediately or the special response team immediately, would have sent out an automatic text to everybody around a mile radius, would have informed the security service personnel in those buildings to lock the doors, that individual would not have gotten very far.
I think what the average person knows about AI is what we've, learned from news reports and in the media. And there's a lot to suggest that AI, as it exists right now, is not that reliable. That it often comes up with wrong answers. That it often comes up with misdiagnoses, if you will. And do you think that means that now is the right time to deploy something like that citywide in a city as big as this one with outcomes that could be important?
Yeah, AI has been deployed already in places like Singapore and Dubai. It's not a foreign technology, and AI is pretty darn reliable. I mean, does it make mistake? I would argue that humans make mistake, but it's a pretty reliable technology, especially around services like I mentioned the garbage, I mentioned the code enforcement, I mentioned the potholes, I mentioned automated 911. By the way, right now, if you call 911, good luck getting a human being there that's gonna react quickly. You can use AI for that. I mean, we're using AI for a lot of the customer service things in businesses. We can use it for these kinds of applications. AI is more reliable than people give it credit. It's getting better by the day. The technologies are improving. It's a logarithmic growth of efficiency and performance. New York needs to lead in AI. We're well suited for that. We're the right city to deploy these kinds of technology. And further, we should use it as a platform to train the next generation of kids from Harlem and Brooklyn and the Bronx to learn this technology, because this is the future. Artificial intelligence is the future. We have to accept it. We have to embrace it. We have to lead in it. And then we have to use ethical norms and standards to make sure that we don't violate people's rights. That's a very important piece of it. But to ignore it, to cover our eyes and say, wait, let's wait till it gets better, I think we're going to miss the boat if we do that.